about tonight. J.D. Vance shares the secret to an unhappy marriage. Kristi Noem joins the Mile High Club. And if you think exercise is good for your mental health, then you haven't seen RFK Jr. exercise. So let's get into it with another installment of The Worst Wing.
What a bunch of losers.
Let's begin with Brendan Carr, FCC Chairman and hairless wolf blitzer. He's in charge of magnifying all the ways Americans communicate, whether it be radio, television, or whatever you're watching me on right now. Probably an Instagram reel someone stole from TikTok. And he's got some exciting new ideas.
The Federal Communications Commission is urging broadcasters to air more patriotic, pro-America content. FCC Chair Brendan Carr launched the voluntary Pledge America campaign Friday, which calls on stations to promote civil education, national pride, and shared history. This could be through the forms of history specials, daily Pledge of Allegiance recitals, the national anthem, or music from American composers like Sousa and Gershwin.
Wow. They say TV is a dying medium, but wait till you tune in for our daily Pledge of Allegiance. Honey, did you watch the Pledge of Allegiance without me? No spoilers. Listen, if you want to make TV more patriotic, you don't need patriotic music. You need to figure out how to make Traitors US as good as Traitors UK. But you know what? In honor of America's birthday, we're willing to work with the administration to make TV just a little more patriotic. And in that spirit, let's get a little boost of patriotism with our very own Jordan Klepper.
Goes out to you, America. Ring, 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 remix. Yeah.
Okay. That's very good. That's good. That's good. Jordan, Thank
Not
you,
done yet.
Thank you, Jordan.
Not done. Not done.
Okay.
Now I'm done.
That was great. Thank you, Jordan. That was very American.
Yeah, thank you. It's how the founding fathers would have celebrated if they were dope like me.
Sure. Great. Jordan Klepper, everyone.
Yeah.
Nothing says I love America like a bugle exploding. Anyway, let's move on to RFK Jr., Secretary of Health and world's most patient zero. After just one incredible year in charge of our nation's health, he's lowered our vaccination rates, boosted our measles outbreaks, and somehow infected the president with hand herpes. But he is just getting started.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. teaming up with Kid Rock for what they're calling the Rock Out Workout.
Never seen a bigger gap between what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. The music says, F the man, but the visuals say my doctor wants me to maintain my bone density. You might be wondering, why are these two old men working out together in a swinger ski chalet? But honestly, would you rather they were working out in your gym with you? Don't worry about wiping down the machine. I welcome your probiotics. That even grossed me out. Point is, it's a very gross video, but could it get grosser? Wait, have I been using the sauna wrong? I've just been sitting there, giving hand jobs to strangers. I have so many questions. One, why is there an exercise bike in the sauna? Two, who are you flipping off? And three, how fast can I sew up my vagina? And RFK Jr. is doing all of this in jeans? I really hope you wash those afterwards.
Topless dancers, the gander freaks, cars packed with speakers, the G's with the 40s and the chicks with big...
Oh, that is not what I meant. Oh my God, that water's like the Wuhan lab right now. It's a good thing he's not vaccinated because he could have turned out weird. But, okay, anyway, let's stop. This is too gross. We're done. No more clips. One more clip. Okay, now this just looks like porn with the sex scenes cut out. Hello, pool boy. Can I offer you a glass of lukewarm milk? And now to the sauna. End of film. But if I can just be serious for a minute, the fact that a U.S. cabinet secretary is putting out slop like this is such a disgrace to both himself and to us as a nation. Jordan, I thought you were done.
Oh, a patriot is never done. Look, I just thought things were getting a little bit too critical in here, if you catch my drift. Time to get those patriotic vibes back.
America, love it or leave it.
Preach.
Jordan, patriotism and criticism are not mutually exclusive. To love your country is to criticize it, to make it better for everyone.
No, Desi, you don't criticize the ones you love. You praise them. You encourage them. You don't get mad when they spend $5,000 on DJ equipment. No, you applaud their bravery in finding a new passion at 46. You know, that's the kind of support America needs right now. Words of affirmation, even if those words aren't true. Hit it.
America, we won Vietnam.
Okay, all right, fine, forget it. Jordan Klepper for the last time, everyone. Let's move on to J.D. Vance, Vice President and Pillsbury Proud Boy. J.D. and his wife, Usha Vance, sat down with Lara Trump in a fun interview that was normal and relaxed. So let's see them be normal and relaxed.
Well, J.D., I have to ask you.
What the f*** are you laughing at? All she said was, I have to ask you. Ha 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 ha. I love human interactions with normal humans. Sorry, I interrupted. What was the question?
What is the best and worst dish that you ever cooked for your wife?
So Usha's a vegetarian. I am not. I'm like thinking to myself, what does a vegetarian eat? Okay, vegetables, dairy, and bread. So I went to the grocery store. I got those crescent rolls that you can get. They're very good. I rolled them out like into a pizza shape and put vegetables and ranch dressing on top and stuck it in the oven for 30 minutes.
Veggies and ranch dressing baked on a crescent roll? And they say white people don't have culture. Personally, I do think that there's a hopeful message here for men. No matter who you are, there is a woman out there that will look at you and say, I guess this is the best I can do. But if I could just be serious for one moment, does someone who cooks ranch dressing have the judgment it takes to be one very irregular heartbeat away from the presidency? I mean, this raises some serious questions about... Jordan, come on, turn that off.
No, you come on, Desi. Come on. The vibes in here are very, very negative right now. Ixnay on the Iticism cray.
I'm not even criticizing the government. I'm criticizing J.D. Vance's cooking.
What's wrong with J.D. Vance's cooking, huh? I got some right here. Look at this, huh?
Oh.
Look at this good old-fashioned America pizza, J.D. Vance style, huh? Oh.
No.
Oh. That ranch is bubbling. Can't wait to have some good old-fashioned American diarrhea, you know?
Those colors do run.
Goodbye, Jordan. Goodbye. Finally, let's move on to Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security and Spirit Halloween's #1 customer. As head of DHS, Noem has a busy job starting wars in American cities, but somehow she seems to have found time for love.
A Wall Street Journal investigation is raising new questions about Noem's close relationship with her unofficial number two, Corey Lewandowski.
The pair, who are both married to other people, have publicly denied the reports of an affair, but people said they do little to hide their relationship inside the department.
Guys, finally, this administration has a sex scandal involving consenting adults. We did it! USA! 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 But look, I know it's a bit unseemly, but I try to stay out of people's personal business. I mean, it's not like Kristi and Corey are flying around on a taxpayer-funded plane.
Lewandowski and Noem have lately been using a luxury 737 MAX jet with a private cabin in back for their travel around the country.
Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski have had the taxpayers lease this jet for their use.
Okay, so they're flying around on a taxpayer-funded plane. How do they justify charging the country for their bang bus in the sky?
On paper, they say they need this particular plane for, quote, immigrant deportation flights.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sure this is the plane they're using to deport illegal immigrants. Hey, sit your ass down and put on these shackles. And here's your hot towel. And we have a selection of wines for your enjoyment. Can you imagine actually being deported on that plane and the whole time you're hearing Corey and Kristi Noem grunting in the back? I'd be like, can this plane please hurry up and land in South Sudan already? By the way, it's not just the fancy plane that Noem is fussy about.
During one official trip, people familiar with the incident say, quote, Noem had to switch planes after a maintenance issue was discovered, but her blanket wasn't moved to the second plane. Corey Lewandowski then fired a U.S. Coast Guard pilot after Noem's blanket was left behind.
Wow. For a woman getting dicked down on the regular, she sure is tense. I mean, you fired the pilot because you forgot your blanket? That's not the pilot's job. His job is to circle the airport until everyone in the back has had time to climax. But I guess that's the end of that pilot's career.
They eventually reinstated the pilot, according to the Journal, because no one else was available to fly them home.
Oh my God, could this get any dumber? Oh God, the only way this could get any dumber is, I don't know, deporting 10 million people and then realizing that they were the ones who did all the hard jobs. And that's really what makes Kristi Noem so despicable. Because, oh God damn it, Jordan, no, turn it off. Just turn it off.
What's the problem, Desi? Huh? Getting a little too America-loving in here for you?
How is Camptown Races America-loving?
I'm running out of public domain songs, okay? But look, at least I'm trying. You didn't even start the show off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I don't need to prove my patriotism by doing the Pledge of Allegiance. That's stupid.
That's because you don't know it.
Oh, of course I know it. I think you don't know it.
No, I know it. I just want you to do it first to prove that you know it.
Okay, fine. Fine. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. A Jay-Z song is on. A Jay-Z song was on. Yeah. It's a party in the USA. That's it.
Are you kidding me? You f***ing nailed that.
I know. Jordan Klepper.
Suck it, China.